Hello Sagittarius, my name is Nigel and you have found Alchemy. Welcome to your March 2025 reading. Okay, let's get started right away. You have chosen the King of Swords. And the King of Swords is Sun in Aquarius. You may have Aquarius placements, but regardless of that, you are stepping into this energy this month. Now, it pays to note, I do not take these overarching cards in reverse, but it does pay to note that this did come out in reverse. So with that said, you might have a decision to make this month on whether to be the King of Swords in reverse or the King of Swords upright. When he is upright, he's level-headed, right? He level-headed leadership, clarity in chaotic situations. He stays even-keeled. He's extremely balanced. His head and his heart, very balanced. He brings about structure, routine, rationale, and logic. When he is in reverse, not any of those things, right? He can be extremely cutting with his mouth. There may be something that goes on this month that threatens to bring that out in you. But as I said, we do not take these in reverse. So we'll just keep that information under our hats, okay? You do have watermelon tourmaline here. And it says, my heart is open to giving and receiving. I transform the world around me by focusing on divine love. It says, open your heart to love, feel unconditional love and support. Bridge the spiritual connection between heaven and earth. So there is some sort of bridge going on. I really felt that way as I was laying out your cards. Watermelon tourmaline is an extremely rare crystal. It's very sought after, to be honest with you. I collect crystals. I have a huge crystal collection. It's not something that I myself have been attracted to, but I can tell you it's fairly expensive, right? And supposedly it brings about happiness. It has a sense of adventure, much like Sagittarius, right? It will open your third eye. And because it's rare and in high demand, I'm wondering what it's doing in your reading. Is it you that is going to be in demand this month for one reason or another? Not sure. You have soulmate here on the table. This could be somebody that you're dealing with in your life. It says that my heart is yours for eternity. This could be soulmate energy here, but just keep in mind, this also could be your, for many of you, this is a relationship. For many of you, this is the perfect job or the perfect situation or the perfect location. So just think about like two puzzle pieces fitting together. Like I said, this very well could be a relationship, but always look at a general reading or a reading, any reading for that matter, and open your third eye. Use the energy of the tourmaline and open up your third eye and really look at what other things it could mean. And that soulmate could be your soul's purpose. You could be feeling it. You could be feeling like you're suddenly on track. You do have Kali Ma. And she is my goddess of Scorpio. I mean, there's a lot of things I could say about her in particular. But what I really want to say for some reason in your reading is how connected she is with Pluto. She's connected with Pluto and Scorpio. And as we know, Pluto is ripping through Aquarius right now. And you have this Aquarian energy here. So I'm wondering if Pluto is doing a number on your life as well. Now, you know, a lot of people fear Pluto. You know, Pluto changes our lives. Our lives after Pluto gets finished with us will be completely different and changed, mostly for the better. Pluto could drag you if you fight it. But if you watch Aquarius's reading for March, the title is Pluto as a Tool. You can use it as a tool if you're smart. And it seems as though it's coming, I mean, just glancing at your cards, there is a lot of Pluto Scorpio energy here. It's that rebirth. It's that rebirth side of Scorpio, right? So when we look at Kali Ma, what have you let go of? Have you let go of something? Have you finally let go of something? Are you embracing your inner phoenix? Are you rising from something? Was your identity merged with something that was not truly part of you, that wasn't good for you? It was taking up space that could have been utilized in a different way. There was something in your life that you let go of That was the right thing to do. It is making room for rebirth energy. Okay? And that is going to be different for all of you. It could be a job, could be a person, could be a marriage, could be a friendship, could be a family member, could be a location. You know, you could be in a location that you have been in your whole life and suddenly have this urge or had this urge and pull to break up with that location and go somewhere brand new. So keep that definitely under your hat. You do have here, it says send out help to others. You may be in a profession that is very helpful to others. You may be in the type of mode this month that where your energy is reaching other people and really, really helping them. Could very well be. You have here the initials W, B, and D. And that could be anyone's initials, could be yours, could be somebody you're dealing with, could be the name of a building. I had somebody come back and tell me that it was the name of a courthouse that they had to go to. It could be the name of a city, the name of a park. It could be literally anything. So keep a very open mind with these letters. But I guarantee you either one or all of them by the end of the month will mean something to you. You have the scythe here, which is further proof, right? The scythe is death, right? The scythe is what the Grim Reaper carries, right? It is a sign of death and rebirth, right? Santa Muerte. Anything like that. This is very, very, yeah. You're definitely have, and I'm really feeling it's that rebirth energy more than it's the death energy. I feel like you may have experienced a death in the past. And when I say that, it doesn't mean an action, it doesn't have to be a literal death, but it could be an ending to something. And now there is room for this, whatever this is to you here. But you have that Scorpio Pluto thing again. Now, if we move on to your charms on this side, you do have the ice cube. And what's interesting is when I was looking at the ice cube in your reading, I was thinking about the ice cube analogy. And I don't want to take up too much time, but it's sort of like trying to melt an ice cube, trying to start the process of melting an ice cube by turning the temperature up one bit by bit by bit, and like nothing happens, nothing happens, nothing happens. And you know if you turn it up too much, it'll melt it too quickly. But some people do 6 clicks and they give up. They're like, it's never gonna work. You, on the other hand, are at a point where you went past 8 and you realize you finally got the gist of it. You finally understand that not giving up, or the fact that you didn't give up on something here, was really, really good for you. It was just really, really good for you. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to take the ice cube analogy and I will pin it in the comment section for you here, Sagittarius. You also have the white rose. And, you know, the white rose is new beginnings, significant life events. A significant time here is on the table for you. It's a rebirth. You're getting a new lease on life somehow. I mean, I'm really feeling that. And you also have the mushroom here. And the mushroom is, you know, symbolically, mushrooms symbolize emerging from darkness, transformation again, right? Separation from the past, starting something new. Love that for you. You do have the salty charm here. You could be dealing with someone who is salty towards you during this time. You yourself could have felt salty. Try to understand that salt symbolically also represents new beginnings. It also represents purification, and so does this rose. Something's been purified. You've done good. Something happened, and you really, really have done good here, Sagittarius. Now you have, it says prosperity lies ahead. New moon in Taurus. Now, the new moon in Taurus for 2025, I'm pretty sure, is in April. So you may be planting seeds this month for something amazing that's going to happen in April. It has something to do with money. So that's always nice to hear, right? You do have the sign of Libra here on the table, and this is number 7 in this deck. Now, with Libra, It could be that you're recalibrating something here. You know, it is the justice scales, right? Rebalancing, recalibrating. You could be dealing with a Libra. There may be a Libra here on the table, meaning in your life this month. That's definitely meaningful, but I'm really getting for a lot of you that those scales are being rebalanced, that maybe the scale was like this before, but you are doing this. You're like, okay, that's fair. It could be the justice scales. You could be in court. I mean, it could be some sort of a court thing that's going on that will go out. It will be something in your favor or something that has been in your favor. It could be part of this whole rebirth thing. I mean, if that's your thing. You do have courage here, and it says increases one's personal determination, courage, bravery to support you through new and uncertain situations. You're definitely going into a brand new situation, and I do think with all this, with the energy I'm seeing so far here on the table anyway, it looks very promising. It looks like there's nothing on the table that you can't handle. We haven't done your tarot yet, so don't hold me to that, but let's see. Okay. Looking at these cards here, we do have cusp and supermoon, and it says with the cusp card, transition, right? Liminality and twilight. So let's look at the cusp. Why would that be on the table for you? As a transitory card, I can see that with all the scorpion energy, right? The cusp represents the imaginary line between zodiac signs or houses. Most people know of cusps as they relate to sun signs, right? It's like those born a few days or before or a few days after that transition. Cusps are said to be an auspicious time to be born, with the twilight hours of these transitions bringing illuminating shifts. However, there is also debate among astrologers on the validity of cusps at all, or whether they even exist, right? So it really depends on who you speak to. You may be influenced by other aspects of your chart that carry a certain lean, that lean towards a certain sign, rather than the influence of the cusp, right? Look at your natal chart. For this to be on the table, I see a bridge, right? But definitely bridging energy is here on the table. And you're on the precipice, the cusp of something. There is a precipice on the table, okay? And with this new moon energy, luminosity, intimacy, and hyper awareness. There are no supermoons in 2025 until the fall. However, the supermoon energy is here on the table for a reason, right? With the supermoon, it appears bigger and brighter in the sky, right? It is closer than usual to Earth, and therefore we call it a supermoon. Now, supermoons are believed to amplify the astrological traits of whatever zodiac sign they're in. So pay attention if you're feeling the supermoon's effects more intensely. I personally think that because this is on the table, even though it's not a supermoon, technically, you're experiencing this in your life somehow. There is a tendency, there is something that is very close. There is something that is very illuminated. There is a bridge you're crossing from one aspect of your life into another. You may have already crossed it. Some of you may have already walked over that bridge. There is somebody that might try your patience this month, and you're going to have to decide whether to flip this card on its ass. For it to come out, I do think that it's best to keep a level head. Keep a level head. All right, let us move on to your tarot. So on your first leg here, you have needle and thread, and it says a sincere wish will be granted, but it is coming in sideways. So I'm wondering here, Sagittarius, what type of choice do you have to make for a sincere wish to be granted? There is something about to be granted to you, and there are choices you have to make. And my God, there are choices abounding here. I wish I could find my pointer. I don't know where it is. Oh, here it is. Okay. You see like all these sideways cards, even these, even this. These are all choices you're going to have to make. Your month is definitely riddled with choices. But I do see a lot of really positive energy here. Let's look at this. So your first choice, it has something to do with ascension. You have the Eight of Cups, and the Eight of Cups in this, and that's another thing I wanted to tell you. This deck is a little different. It is very different from other decks. So the astrological correspondences are going to sound weird if you're familiar with astrology related to the cards. For instance, the King of Swords is always Sun in Aquarius in most decks. In this deck, it's Gemini. It's not even Sun in Gemini, it's just Gemini. So just excuse some of the things you may hear if you're familiar with these things. So this, and some of the meanings of the cards are different. So now this Eight of Cups, instead of just walking away, let's see how it's an ascension? It's like a leveling up, right? And this card is, in this deck anyway, Pisces. It's Neptune in Pisces. So you're seeking truth. You're moving on. There's a choice you're going to have to make about this, moving on to a higher aspect of yourself. The gift of this card is the cleansed self emerging. And you're going to a new plateau. You do have the Three of Cups coming right after that. So whatever choice you make here, Sagittarius, is going to possibly lead to a very good harvest card for you, right? And the Three of Cups is, in this deck especially, a harvest card. It is Pluto in Cancer in this deck. It's celebration, good times. A harvest is here for the taking, success, completion, new beginnings. And this leads right into the Empress upright. And the odd thing about this deck is that the major arcana in this deck have no astrological correspondence. So normally that would be like a Libra, Taurus. But anyway, so if I say nothing about anything with major arcana, then you know why, right? Because I do like giving that. But anyway, you have the Empress here, and this is, she rules from the heart. She's a great mother. She births new things into life, whether you're male or female. You are nurturing something. You're birthing a new life. And it's in the upright, and it's another harvest card. Your wish, there is going to be a wish that's granted this month if you play your cards right. Pardon the pun. Okay. When we add this up and we break it down, it's Mercury, right? It's Virgo, Gemini energy, communication, decision making, transporting, problem solving. It's all here on the table. So as we move on to your second leg, you have the wealth card, and that is in the upright. So there's going to be a wealth. Now, wealth could be obviously it could be obviously money related, and it's going to be money related for some of you, but it could very well be the wealth of information that it could be a relationship. It could be anything, because we have soulmate up here. What is wealth to you, right? Maybe all of the above is wealth to you, but you're definitely getting a wish. And that's just the way it is. It's come out way too many times. And here it is. It's coming out again. You have the Nine of Cups. And even in this deck, this is known as the wish card. This is Moon in Pisces energy. This is considered one of the best cards in this deck. It's abundance. The butterflies on this deck, can you see them? They're all over, right? The butterflies on this card take the energy of your wishes straight up to spirit, where they turn into manifestations. And look at this, Sagittarius. You have as your center card, and we know that the center card is what all the other energy revolves around. You have the sun. And because it's a major arcana, and because it's this deck, I'm not going to say it represents Leo, but it is still a very happy card. It's motivating. It's very simple, joyous, energetic energy. It is illumination. It is sunshine. It is roses and rainbows. This leads you straight into the King of Wands. And the King of Wands usually is Sun in Leo, but in this deck, it's simply Sagittarius. So here you have a new version of yourself. Are you going to take it? It's sideways. This is a choice you're going to have to make, right? He is the father of creative energy, creation. The energy from this particular king is so powerful, it's hard to contain. But he's mastered the ability to hold his fiery, raw life force, and he recycles it into creation. And he's right next to the Empress. You have the male and the female aspect here. You have the perfect combination of cards for creation. And you want to hear something ironic? We add this up, we break it down, we get Pluto again. Rebirth. I don't know what you're being reborn from, but it's serious. This is a serious leveling up here, Sagittarius. Okay, so on your third leg here, you have staff coming in sideways, and it says, you'll be taken care of in difficult times, and it is coming here in sideways. I think that there's a part of you here, Sagittarius, that does not want to be taken care of. You want to do things yourself. And there is a decision you're going to be making on that. You have the Two of Pentacles here. you know. And the Two of Pentacles here, like, think about it. The Two of Pentacles is when you're juggling things and you're trying to figure things out and you're like, oh my, but now it's in reverse. I think that you have figured out, I don't know, you've cracked the code. There is a code being cracked here, and you have put the brakes on that scattered energy, and you are now headed straight into the Fool. And you have the Fool energy. I mean, the Fool in this deck is very similar, right? He wants this particular version of the Fool wants to experience life, right? His energy is like spring emerging from winter, that death and rebirth, right? And he contains all possibilities. Anything is possible. His like what he needs to do is he needs to trust himself to go forward. And I think that you are acquiring this energy of trust. You're acquiring this energy of trusting yourself. There may be things that have happened in your life that made you not trust yourself very much in the past. But I have to tell you, look at this energy. This leads right into the Knight of Swords. And the Knight of Swords is, in this deck anyway, straight up Libra energy. The scales of justice again. Or the scales of listen, justice can mean actual justice in court, or it could be you finally attaining justice, or you finally balancing something that needed desperately to be balanced. The message of this particular knight, he has light that slices through any darkness with that sword. He slices through darkness, he slices through confusion. His light breaks through stuck patterns and energy, and he bridges, and there's that bridging energy. He bridges the world of spirit and matter. So that is a beautiful way to end this month. I mean, it just is. So let's look at when we add this up and we break it down, we get the moon. And the moon has a gravitational pull. There is something that is pulling you. There is a gravitational pull that may have been pulling you like more than like months ago, and it finally culminated. It very well could be that, Sagittarius. So here in your challenges, you have the moon again, right? Changes in your life. Yes, it'll be challenging, but man, it's good. It may be challenging, but man, it's good. You have here the Seven of Swords. I love the Seven of Swords in this deck, right? Because on this side of the Seven of Swords, you have someone about to be sneaky and go in and take one of your swords. But on this side, you got them suckers locked down. Nobody's touching that. There may have been crap that happened to you in the past that you are just not allowing to happen again. And I like that. I like that version. And you have here the King of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles on his positive side here is Sun in Taurus. By the way, this is Venus in Aquarius, and this is Sun in Taurus, because we're back to this deck here, right? So you have long-term abundance on the table. It will be a challenge, but you're going to do it. You have long-term abundance. You have wealth, power, future success. He is all of those things. You move with this King of Wands, the Sagittarian energy, straight into stability. And you have the world here on this side, which is really fascinating to me, right? So think about this. The world in general is Jupiter energy, like yourself. Fixed energy, though, right? It's Leo, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius. This is the challenge here, is that because it's kind of in reverse. So the challenge here is that you need to make these small changes before moving on. You're going to be moving on, and there are changes you need to make. And I think there are decisions you need to make, but you got this. And when we break this down, I mean, it's just, at this point, it's bizarre. It's Pluto again. Pluto challenges people to face things that they don't want to look at. Release that which limits us. You have released something. Congratulations. So here you have hold on. Sorry, it probably won't be the last dog emergency I have, but the interesting thing is there is a Sagittarius walking into my house at the moment, making my dogs bark. Never ends, right? You have the claw here, and it says, be careful, do not take risks. But this is in your opportunities pile, and this is something you're going to have to, there's some sort of risk you're going to take this month. And I'm not saying it's going to be like gambling the family fortune or doing anything crazy like that. I'm not seeing cards like that, but there's a risk you're going to take. You're going to have to step out of your box, out of your comfort zone here a little bit. You do have here the Queen of Wands. Wow. And you have the Queen of Wands here in reverse. So this is in your opportunity sector. This is Jupiter in Aries, releasing the need to control. Maybe you felt the need to control certain things that were going on. Maybe you needed to. Maybe you needed to control things. There is something you're attaining this month where you can now release that. You may be able to delegate responsibility instead of taking on so much for yourself. But I like the fact that you're able to release this. And you also have here the Ace of Swords in reverse. And that's straight up air energy. Now, the Ace of Swords in reverse is, you know, preparing yourself, especially in the opportunities column, preparing yourself mentally for more change, avoiding conflict while that happens. You're open to change. You're now open to change. You're open to change. And you have here the Five of Wands. And the Five of Wands in your opportunity sector is Saturn and Leo energy, a lesson in conflict resolution. You're resolving some sort of conflict, and there's a lesson to be learned here. It's an opportunity. You're going to learn something, or you have learned a valuable lesson about that. And when we add this up and break it down, we get Venus. And what did I say? For some of you, this is a money-related thing. For some of you, this is a love-related thing, and Venus encompasses both. Or for some of you, it's both. You have a very, very active month here, Sagittarius, and all positive things, I might add. But growing pains do abound. Now, before I do your numerology, I am going to pull a card from my Nordic deck. For Sagittarius for March 2025, you have chosen Skadi, ambition, the hunt. She's a giantess in Norse mythology, right? She represents goal-oriented determination. She represents speed, and I do think that especially with this Knight of Swords, something is going to occur with speed. If you are starting an endeavor in a competitive environment at all, this is a very good sign for you. If you are going to court with someone in a competitive type environment, this is a good sign for you. She represents anything that's goal oriented, a strong willfulness for you. Love that energy for you. Now, as far as your numerology, when we add everything up in this reading and we break it down, we get Jupiter energy, which is your energy. You're coming into yourself. You are. That Sagittarian, optimistic, lucky energy. If you were not feeling it before, you're going to feel it in March. Now, the numbers that we talked about the most were 3, 10, and 2. 3 being that Uranus energy for change. Pluto being at, number 10, which we talked about over and over again. It's that rebirth side of death. And the moon energy, which is that gravitational pull, that you're feeling a pull towards something. Your lucky numbers are 8, 10, 5, 7, 2, and 4. Now, all the signs we talked about were Aquarius, Scorpio, Libra, Taurus, Pisces, Cancer, Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo, Leo, and Aries. The 2 signs that we talked about the most were Scorpio and Cancer. No, actually, it's not true. It's Scorpio and Taurus. So you have that bull. You have that determination, that King of Pentacles energy overarching it. And you have the Scorpio energy, which we talked about like a dozen times at least, right? I mean, it's that Pluto energy, that rebirth energy that is just so needed. And what's fascinating is that of all the planets we talked about Pluto the most. So Pluto is huge for you this month. Huge in a very positive way. Love that for you. Okay. Do not forget to listen to your year-end reading and your Sagittarius birthday reading. It encompasses 2025 to 2024 to 2025, right? So birthday to birthday. I will see you next time. My favorite fire sign, and namaste.